Hello again. Ah, oh, yeah, I suppose that makes sense. I got a cold sore and I find it really difficult not to pick at that type of thing, especially since it's on my lip and I just always feel it. So, got a little bit of crap there. Other than that, I'm doing pretty fine. My goals, I don't even have to look at my notebook. They've actually been going really well. For my workout's just been progressing really smoothly. It's one of these mid-month ones, so it's probably going to be very short. There is something I do want to at the very least get out there before I leave, but working out's been decent. I have been waking up at 7 and again it's exhausting. I didn't tackle. I acknowledged how I would often get up at 7, come out to the living room, do some stuff and then fall asleep in the living room. That didn't happen today. Special circumstances, though. That's why it didn't happen today. Um, and then my porn goals. Yeah, it's fine. Although I'll get into my next thing I wanted to talk about since goals are already pretty much done. College, man, man, oh man. I'll acknowledge right here, right now. I am in a better position than I was a long time ago. There was a time before where I couldn't even get into at least online school. So I'm in a place where I can actually be somewhat happy with my progress, and I can be somewhat proud of myself. But man, even though I'm doing my best is still really disappointing. Ugh. You think I want to start the first week off strong, and that is true. I did want to start it off strong. And then some weird shit happened. And this is the crux of it, because I probably would have. You know what? Actually, I don't know that. I won't say that, because frankly, I don't know if that's true. But some weird stuff went off with like scheduling, and it uh, just messed with me a bit. And while I got most of the stuff done, the fact that I missed one assignment still just fucking irks me. It's one of those assignments that I can't turn in late either. There is no there is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The moment it's late, it's done. There's nothing you can do. And that's exactly what happened. There was nothing I could have done. And I don't want it to continue. Clearly, I still have plenty of room to grow, but man, that, that, I'll also admit, I did have the time to check that shit up. But because on Wednesday, it was my day to just do whatever I want, right? To sate the urges so that I can continue to work on. That actually probably put me in a lot of trouble. That that's probably the reason why I wasn't able to do it. And that really hurts to think about. If I didn't have enough motivation beforehand as to why I wanted to stop watching pornography, I've got even more now. This was infuriating. I'm I don't want to let that stuff happen again. I'm going to try and stay on top of my assignments as early as I can. I know I'm rather unmotivated, but if I want to start doing the shit that I'm excited to do, if I want to get stuff off my to-do list, I gotta put I gotta put the stuff I'm required to do first. And it's gonna take some time. I'm not expecting myself to do crazy well with it to start with, but I really, really need to get on top of this shit because last semester, voice crack. Last semester, I experienced something really similar to this. Although I didn't really identify it as a huge problem because I was still getting my stuff done, even though it was really late and I stressed myself out a hell of a lot by doing it the way I did. But man, I don't know how long I myself am able to stand the way that I do work. This stuff is harder than what you did in high school. In high school, it was easy enough that you could cruise by without much of an issue. But here you just can't. You really can't. You gotta get it together, man. You need to do things well before they're due. You need to finish them well before they're due. You need to submit them well before they're due. If you can't do that, I don't see how you can see yourself being successful later on. I really don't. This is a damn mess. That's for sure. But anywho, aside from that major form of dissatisfaction, at least been alright. I have been feeling a little ill. Like I said, I had a cold sore, so I might actually just be experiencing a cold with very few symptoms. But yeah, I've been feeling overall okay, just a little under the weather and even tired, which I'll admit it's probably spurred on by my sporadic nature when it comes to sleeping. Uh, I definitely need to put a limiter on when I'm allowed to go to bed. It's it's not a testing thing. I have to. If I'm gonna get my good amount my sleep schedule to be better, I can't rely on my body to fix it all for me. I've got to put some limits on it. And as a matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and make this video my declaration of that. I need to put a limit of at the very least. This is a very much at the very least 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock, wake up at 7. Potential, the minimum amount of sleep I need is 7 hours at the least. And the most I need is 9. This will allow me to have, ideally if I just knock out the moment I go to bed, 8 hours. That's all I need for now. And then once I'm starting to feel a little more comfortable, I can work it down to 10. But man, right now, whew, those are two major changes I need. I need to do my assignments well before they're due, and I need to set a strict bedtime thing. I'll give myself 10 to 30 minutes for like bedtime prep, but after that, I need to be in my bed, fucking trying to go to sleep. Otherwise, I'm just gonna keep repeating this shit over and over again. I'm gonna keep failing over and over again. And man, I want this. I want this really bad. So this strict bedtime thing and this working towards doing my assignments the moment I'm aware of them, or at least working towards finishing all my assignments as early as possible, that's all just something I'm gonna have to do. I don't have a choice. So, yeah. Well, aside from that, I'm gonna get back to what I was doing. I will see myself next time.